All right. So, our next unit, transformations and symmetry. When you transform something, you change it. So, when a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, or when Optimus Prime changes from a truck into, well, Optimus Prime. That's how it sounds. They're changes. You're changing a shape. And there's various changes you can make. So we're going to talk about them. The first one we're going to talk about is what's called a translation. Now think about it. When you speak a foreign language and you translate into another language, so from English to Spanish or German to French, when you do that, you're really moving from one language to another. That's the same thing here. When we're translating, we're moving an object. So a translation, or the common term for it, is a slide. It's not the math term, but it's kind of like the friendly term for it. It is a transformation that moves all the points of the original figure the same distance in the same direction. So let's take a point in space. -2, 3. Okay? In the second quadrant there. Now, when you slide horizontally is this way, left and right, you add and subtract to the x value. When you slide vertically, that's up and down, you add and subtract the y value. So let's look at this. Let's translate this. There's a typo here, so let's correct this. This should be 7. This goes with the example here. So if I add 7, I move right 7. So if I went from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I would be 7 spaces to the right. All right? Well, if I add 7 and -2, what do I end up with? 5. Okay? So, again, I'm starting at -2, and I'm adding 7 to it. And I'm going to get 5. Now, I'm not moving down 4. Why does it say down 4? It should be up 4. This is a typo also. Sorry about that. It's up 4. So from this point, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going up 4. So from 3, I'm going up 4, and that gives me a new point at 5, 7 in the first quadrant. So, as a vector, A slides horizontally and B slides vertically. So, that word vectors. Describing words in translation represented by each vector. Vector is, this ordered pair here. So, this is not a dot, 2, 5. This is a vector. Now, the way you distinguish this from a point and a vector is technically, these should not be parentheses. They should be these little, kind of B's. So, I prefer that you use this for vector. It's printed this way in the notes. But I like it so you know, hey, this isn't the 0.25. This is a horizontal move right 2 and a vertical move up 5. And the second one, -3, means a horizontal move left, and 8 means up 8. Now, when I write my vectors here, 2 units to the left, remember, left, and think about it, think of the number line. Which way is negative and which way is positive? All right? So 2 units left is going to be -2. 1 unit down, think about, again, up, down, right? So 1 unit down will be -1. And then I'm just going to use the little sideways B's here. 8 units right, well, that's positive, so that's up. And 10 units up is also positive, so that's 10. And I'm going to put my little sideways V's there. All right. Find the translation vector that slides the preimage to the shaded image. Okay, let's go back a little bit. I forgot to mention this. I apologize. If you notice here, you have P, and it didn't print very well, but there should be a little apostrophe there. That's called P prime. Okay? So, the preimage is your original one, and the one with the accent mark is after the move. So notice, it's hard to tell, but this one down here has little accent marks on the M, L. You definitely can't see on the, it's hard to see on the J there, but it's right there. Okay? J and K. So that means we're moving from the empty one to the shaded one. And it says here, to the shaded image. So you know we're going down that way. So really all you have to do is do it one time. Pick a point, like let's say J, and then its other point, J prime, okay? And that's just right there. And we're just going to count. How do I get there? Well, we always go horizontal first, so that's 1, 2, 3 moves left. So I moved left 3. And then I went 1, 2, 3, 4 down. 4 down. And I can verify that with the other points, like let's say K. 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and 1, 2, 3 left. Now, of course, I remember I said it horizontal first, I apologize. But it's still 4 down and 3 left from every point. On this one, we're starting with E and going to E prime. So again, we go right first. So 1, 2. Right 2. And then from that point, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 5. And that is my move. Okay, so translation. We're going to move this shape. It's hard to tell this part of the shape is actually on the line, so I'm going to highlight over it. So it's right here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to write the points for the original one first. So B. It's hard to see on here, but that's 1, negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 2, comma 4. Q. Well, that's right there at 0, 1. That's pretty easy on the axis, on the y-axis. J is at 0, negative 1. Also pretty easy. Not much counting there. And then T is pretty easy also. It's at negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5 on the x-axis at 0. So negative 5, 0. Now, it wants us to move 4, 1. So we're going to move each of these points 4 spaces right and 1 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'll put that in a new color right there. Okay? And then from Q, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then from T, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And there is my new shape, and it looks just like the other shape, just right and up. Now, the shortcut is actually going to show you the way to get the points easier. Okay? Let's look at T prime. It's at negative 1, positive 1. Let me show you the quick way. Remember how at the beginning we talked about adding x's and adding y's? Well, if we add 4 right here, negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. And if we do 0 plus 1, we end up with 1. So we don't actually have to technically count and then find the spot. We could just add 4 to each spot. So for J, 0 plus 4 is 4. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Is J prime at 4, 0? Yes, it is. 0 plus 4 again is 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I'm just showing you 2 different options of doing this. Negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2, and 4 plus 1 is 5. And these all work out. So on this one, the second one, translation of 0, 2. Let's write our points down and then just do the shortcut. So I is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. And let's just do the change right away of this time. So the new point is going to be add 0 and add 2. So this isn't going to change. And negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. Y. Where's Y? Well, it's at negative 1, negative 2, 0. Just finding points. Now, the x is not going to change. And then we're going to add 2 to 0 and get 2. W is at 1, 0. So, again, the first number is not going to change because we're adding 0. And then 0 plus 2 is 2. That's a horrible 2, but it is. And then P is at negative 1, negative 2. And then negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Again, the x is not going to change. So this is not moving left or right. But when I add 2 to negative 5, I get negative 3. And now all I have to do is just graph those. My battery is low. Now it's not. Okay, so now I'm just going to graph these. So negative 5, negative 2. Well, easy enough. I'm just moving up 2 spaces. So if I just count up 2, need a little bit more room here. Pretty easy. There's my shape. And I really should put P prime, J prime. That's not a Y, it's a W. Writing is hard sometimes. Y prime and W prime. And that's it. Very simple. So 2 ways to do it. Whatever you're most comfortable with. All right? This one should go pretty quickly. All right. So S is at negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, 0. I is at negative 1, positive 1. And C is also at negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 4, comma 4. Now, what's my change? 3, 1. So I'm just adding 3 to the x's and adding 1 to the y's. So negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 3, negative 1 plus 3 is 2. And negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. So there's my x values. Now I'm adding 1 to the y values. 4 plus 1 is 5, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 0 plus 1 is 1. There's my new spots. So I'm going to go to negative 1, comma 5. So basically I'm moving negative 1 up 5, which is right here. Another way of thinking about it is it's a move 1, 2, 3, and up 1. So however your brain processes it. And then 2, 2, going to be right there. And negative 1, positive 1, actually ends up overlapping. That happens sometimes. And there's my points. So I is also S prime. And then here's C prime up here, and this is I prime right there. Okay, last one here. Let's write down the points where these are. So G is at 2, 1. That was supposed to change the block. Oh well. And W is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. And I wrote that in the wrong spot. Sorry about that. And then H is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 4, comma, 3. All right? Now, look at this. We have negatives this time. So we're going to subtract 2 from the x. So 2 minus 2 is 0. 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2 again. Then we're subtracting 3 from the y. So 1 minus 3 is negative 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. And 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Now again, if you're more comfortable just counting and moving, fine. Take each point and move left 2, down 3. So here's my new G prime. And that is at 0, negative 2. And then H, again, I'm going to go 2 left, 1, 2, and down 3. 1, 2, 3. That's at 2, 0, and that matches up. And then from W, I'm going to go left 2, down 3, and there is my triangle. And it looks exactly the same, it's just moved left and down. And then again, here's my G prime, here's my W prime, and there's my H prime. And that's it.